I don't know if you know this, but I've actually been on YouTube for 10 years now. It's so crazy to think that I have been on the internet since 2012. But if you do not follow me on YouTube and you want to see like more videos, stuff about my life, I would love if you could go and just subscribe to me there. It's free. You can see all the videos. I post tons of really random things. I'm trying to post more as well. And I love requests. So if you want to follow me on YouTube, you can type in Fit Sid at the search bar, or in the description, my link for my channel will be there. But my channel is Fit Sid. So it's youtube.com/FitSid, I believe. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I do have a YouTube channel before we jump into this podcast and have some fun. I'm your host, Fit Sid, and welcome back to Dirty CEO, where we go balls deep into the reality of what people are really thinking. Now let's get into it. Dirty CEO. Hey everyone, it's your girl, Fit Sid. Welcome back to Dirty CEO. Who do I have here?
Anessa Rossi. Hi, happy to be here.
Tell them a little bit about yourself. First of all, she's a TikTok star, you guys.
Yeah.
And what else?
So TikTok star, former Playboy model, current bartender in the club on TikTok, OnlyFans girl.
Yeah, she has just so many titles.
10 million hats, giant head.
I know. Well, and it's funny because like I was looking you up and everything, and I just had like a million questions because there's so many things about you. And one of the main things that I was going to ask you about, so we were talking about this before we even started recording, was the whole Kanye thing.
Yeah.
What happened? $15,000, Kanye, world star, all these things. Like, what's the situation?
Yeah. So I used to bartend at a celebrity club in LA.
And is that where you're originally from, by the way?
That's where I'm originally from. Yes. Born and raised in Southern California, now living in Miami. But I worked at this club. It was underground, like not open to the public. You have to be someone to come in.
How did you get a job there?
Yeah. So this is the crazy part. Is so I was working at Playboy and I had been on and off with Playboy Media for like 5 years. And
I have so many questions now. Okay, keep going.
Yeah,
because we're not going to
we can pause.
Like, okay, the timeline. When did you start working for Playboy, and then when did you work for this club, and then when did the Kanye thing happen?
Right. So I started working, the first time I ever appeared nude in Playboy was at 19 years old. So I'm 30 now. So you
look so good.
Thank you.
Guys, she looks so good.
Thank you. So do you though. I feel like we both look like we're like 18 years old.
Thank you. Yeah, no, and your skin's nice, you know?
Yeah, so from the time I was 19 years old, I started working at Playboy. And then I appeared on and off in multiple editorials on Playboy Plus, which we can talk about that.
Yeah.
There's different avenues of Playboy. Like there's Playboy the magazine, which is the media.
Yeah.
I've never been published in print.
Yeah.
Then there's Playboy Plus, which is online only. And then there's Playboy Now and Playboy Live. And that's like adult entertainment videos.
Yeah.
You know? So from 19 to 24, I was in Playboy. And actually my agent through Playboy came to me and he was like, hey, there's a casting call for like this new club that's opening up. And at the time, I was like 23 years old, like give or take 23. And he's like, hey, like this new club's opening up. You want to audition? Like they're looking for bartenders, like model bartenders, model servers. I was like, okay, like what's the club? He's like, well, it's not really conventional. It's underground, like underground poker, underground dancing, like very like lawless land, you know?
Yeah.
So I show up and I never officially got hired. I just didn't leave for 5 years. Like I just kept coming back like the next week and the next week and the next week. And that went on for like 5 years. So I was never like officially offered the gig. I went, did the audition, you know, and they were like, you know, like, okay, you can stay the rest of the night. And then I stayed the rest of the night and I worked. And then I remember when I was leaving, I asked like the guy who was running, I was like, oh, so this is like every Friday and Saturday? And he was like, yeah. And then I just took it upon myself to show up. And I was like, let me see if they told me to leave. Then they didn't. So
And you were bartending there?
Yeah, I was bartending there. And
did you have your bartending license?
Not yet. No.
So you were literally just learning.
I was just like, let me ride this wave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember at that time, because remember, like back 10 years ago in LA, or even like working in adult entertainment, it was very much not an open platform or an open forum for anyone who wasn't like 5'8", 5'10",
right,
blonde, you know, whatever. Here I am at 5 feet. Like
I'm literally almost a foot taller than her, you guys.
Yeah,
like, I'm 5'9".
I thought to me you're like 5'11".
Yeah, like I tower you. I think my chest is in your face.
Like I'm like right at your
level. But it's funny because like I think as time has gone on, things are becoming more talked about, more open. Like people start realizing, like one of the things that I say on my podcast is you're always going to be somebody's type.
Always.
And I think a lot of the time, like I think you being on social media, you probably can see it now where you're like, oh wow, like people like me.
Yeah.
Because when I got into OnlyFans and like Snapchat and stuff, I started realizing, holy shit, like these people think I'm pretty.
Right.
And like, and it's like, I'm not everyone's type, but I'm someone's type.
But that's because there's a body for everybody. And I say that too. And also too, I think that the mainstream, I guess, like beauty standard, I don't really think that many people believe that.
No. And I think a lot of people, it's unattainable as like something that like, okay, let's take a guy, for example. He wants something that he is genuinely attracted to and interested in. Like, I know what I'm attracted to. I can appreciate everyone's looks, but I know what I'm attracted to.
Same.
My friends tell me, they're like, Sydney, that is the weirdest reason to like them.
Like what?
I love like really nice smiles.
Oh, no, I'm the same way. Like your teeth?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, me too.
Yeah. And like a smile just like, oh God, gets me, bro. Like,
I thought that was just me.
That's my thing. It's like my friends are always like, his teeth are crooked. It's fine. And I'm like, give me a man with a nice smile. Oh God.
Same way. Okay, so do you have a type then?
Yeah, I definitely have a type. And like, I think personality trumps anything. And like, if you meet someone in person and like their personality just sticks out, then obviously like I've definitely dated guys that like weren't like what I ideally like.
Right.
But like brown eyes are definitely like something that I see and I just like melt.
Okay.
But the smile, like any guy that I've ever dated, whether they're like blonde, brown hair, like doesn't matter their hair color, their eye color, the smile is the same. Like you can copy and paste it to all of them. It's like a big, cheesy, like nice smile. Like,
I love that.
What about you?
Yeah. Oh no. Like they all look like the same person.
Yeah.
Like you could line up everyone I've ever dated and they'd be like, why did you even leave the first? Like they're all the same men in different font. You know what I mean?
Do you like tattoos or no?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. My husband's tatted from his face now.
Yeah. And you have tattoos. I always ask that because, you know.
Yeah. And you know, that's actually so interesting too. Speaking about tattoos and like being in the industry I was in.
Yeah.
At the time, that was not acceptable. And like
Did you cover them up?
I didn't have my sleeve yet, but I got this like my very first tattoo I got when I was 16 years old. And it's on my back right here.
How many do you have?
Oh my gosh, I have my whole sleeve. I have like the little piece of my back. I have like a big piece on my hip.
I see a side one too.
Oh yeah. So so let me tell you my favorite tattoo. Funny story. I got my husband's name tattooed on my wrist, and his name is Tim. And so it said Tim right here on my right hand.
My first boyfriend's name was Tim.
Really? Okay, well then look at this is the universe. It's fate, right? So I go and I tat his name on me, and I'm like, this is going to be great. I'm never going to regret this, right? Yeah. And then we get into like one of these fights where I'm like, you know, those fights are like, we're never coming back. Ever. And I was like, I will go cover this tattoo right now. And he was like, yeah, okay. Like brushing me off.
Yeah.
And I went to, and my tattoo artist is our tattoo artist. Like it's the same dude. So I go to him and I'm like, I want to cover this right now. And he's like, He's like, I'm not covering like Big T's name. Nope. And I was like, I want to change it then. And then he's like, so what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, his name is Tim. Let's add an E. Let's make it time. Let's make it time heals.
I see it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, let's make it time heal. So then we cover it. And then I come home and he's like, mother, like you really did it. And then I went and I tatted his name again.
Oh my God.
So that's like my favorite story to tell because I did it again.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is something I would do. I don't have any tattoos because if I were to get them though, like I would want them to be like private for myself.
Right.
But like the first tattoo I want, if I were to get it, would be a lion on my neck.
I love
like a huge lion mane. And then I'd get like a lot more, but my friends think I'm crazy because they're like, you're such an extremist. Like if I do something, I want to do it like 110%.
I'm the same way. I say that all the time.
I can tell with the Tim.
Yeah, dude. And it's so funny too because like there's like a running joke on TikTok where people are like, so are you married or are you guys getting divorced? And I just respond, yes. This is what I say.
Well, that's the thing. You have to keep them guessing.
Yeah.
And So, okay, so like you've done so many things. You're so interesting. Like I knew you were interesting, but like talking to you, your energy, everything, I just love it. Like,
oh, girl, like and it's so funny because like I don't feel like I'm a mess, but I feel like if you were to put it on paper, I guess that's like what would be the definition.
I think you're just interesting. I don't think
like
that's because I think you have it put together. Like it's a piece, like there's something about it where it's like the puzzle pieces are coming together with everything. Like you changed it. It looks really good. And then you just did it again.
Oh, and it's so funny.
And it was deliberate.
Right. And it's so funny because people are like, so is this second one going to stick? I'm like, maybe I'll cover it and I'll do a third one.
Yeah,
Ask me again next year. I'm not really sure. I'm just living right now.
That's the thing though about life is like living. Like you actually are living life.
Oh, I've lived a lot of life in my 30 years here. I think like...
I feel like a lot of people, they want to live the way that you're living, like do what they want to do. But and it seems like you really are. Like the whole doing Playboy and stuff, that's something that a lot of people aspire to be able to do and have the confidence to do. Yeah. They don't do it. Then you go from there and then you're working at this underground club, pushing your way in. Like, I would have never had the confidence. If they hadn't called me back, I wouldn't show up again.
Yeah, it was very much like, well, and I say it all the time, like, we do what we can until we can't. That's like my thing. Well, we do what we can until we can't, you know? So I'm going to show up here. And if they tell me to leave, then I'm going to leave. But if I can stay, and I'm just going to, and that's kind of what I did. Yeah. And then, you know, I kind of like, I joke that, I mean, I don't think I'm a troll, but I'm definitely not like an LA 10, you know? And I think I kind of skated by my personality.
But what do you think is an LA 10?
I would say in LA, and it's different everywhere.
Yeah, that's why I want to know because you grew up there.
I would say in LA, it's very much the Kendall Jenner type. I think if you're Kendall Jenner and you want to work in a mainstream club, like you want to be hired as a model bartender, a model cocktail server, you need to look like Kendall Jenner. Yeah. And then here in Miami, oh my gosh, it is. Oh, in Miami, it's very much like BBL culture. Yeah. And same for Atlanta. You know what I mean? Atlanta's even like on like the thicker end of things. Yeah. And then you go to New York and it's like, oh, damn, like you better be a Latina. You better be have an accent. Like you better not even have papers, you know, like if you want to work. Yeah. And it's so different everywhere.
And it's interesting because, like, at least for me, like, I've always been someone that's, like, all about, like, accepting myself as I am. Yeah. But you go places and you see where people accept you instant. Like, when I'm here, it's crazy the amount of men that I, like, number one, match with on Tinder. And then, like, when I'm walking and going and doing things, the amount of men that ask me on a proper date. Oh, yeah. Like, I'm in Arizona, okay? And Arizona's, like, a little more eclectic. But, like, we're near Mexico and we're near LA. And, like, Arizona girls are the blonde, skinny. Like that's the look there still. And like, then you find the dudes that are like, yeah, I like curves. But then it's interesting because I come here and I'm like eaten alive. And I'm like, wow, you guys, oh my God, you really like that? You're not faking it? Like,
no, that's Miami.
And they're proud of it. Like they're not trying to hide it. They're not trying to be like, oh, let's keep it on the DL. Like, no, they want to take you to like the nicest restaurant. And you're like, okay, I'll eat right in front of you, and you want me to eat 2 meals? Okay.
And you know what I love about Miami too is club culture. And I'm going to tell you, because I've been everywhere in the United States. There's clubs and then there's Miami. And they're not one and the same. And here in Miami, I would say the adult entertainment industry or like clubs is way more accepted than it is anywhere else.
I feel like people come here to party and have a good time.
Correct.
And like you were in LA when the whole Kanye thing happened, right? Yeah. Like I feel like when stuff happens here, it's like they came here to do that. And I feel like celebrities can do, in my opinion, more out here and it's more accepted.
Correct.
But the moment that they're in like New York City or LA, it's not the same.
Oh yeah, no.
They get judged and like
Miami, there's no rules.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
And they have those yacht parties here and just things happen that like I've been invited to things that I don't talk about publicly. And like I've seen things where I'm just like, did that dude just do that?
Oh, yeah.
And like, it was totally fine. But in LA, that would be like pretty normal everywhere. But like,
of course.
Here, it's like, I think the first time someone asked you to get out of my was like, I was barely 19. And they literally took my cheeks.
Oh, yeah.
And just spread them. And I was like, what are you doing?
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
I was like, ah.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Miami.
Yeah. And I didn't even know what it looked like.
Oh,
I literally was like, what are you putting between my...
You're like, what is this?
And then I was like, he really just did in my...
Like, 100%, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. And my friend, she was just standing there and she's like...
Did they do it off of you or did they blow it up your...
No, so like he put it in my, like, around my, like, the rim of my... and then, like, snorted it.
Oh, okay.
Like, he wanted to smell
my... Okay. And then you're like, why is my them right now.
Yeah,
this is wild.
The weird thing is like I felt so weird the rest of the night, and I was like trying to go to the bathroom to like wipe it off, but I was like, I swear to God, I'm shoving it higher and higher up, and it hits you higher when it's in your
exactly. Like people purposely ingest it.
Yeah, and I didn't know that, so my friend was like Googling, like I'm innocent as being like, why does my feel weird? Why do I feel weird?
I didn't know that. That is so funny. So the first time, and I talk about it on TikTok all the time, but I don't do anymore. My husband's actually 2 years clean and sober now, but we used to be wild. Like,
was that in LA or Miami?
This was in LA, and my husband's from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised.
So
he's a wild boy.
Yeah,
and he's 10 years older.
Does he have an accent too?
Oh my God, like hard on the accent. You know what I mean? And I make so much fun of him too, because he'll be like when we fight, he'll be like, "Oh, you nice guy." Like the first time he says it to me, and I'm just like, bro, what? Like I don't what? Like,
you're like, are those fighting words?
No, like literally, like, oh, like he's a wise guy. Or like it's so funny because like him being from New York, like he'll start laughing when he wants to fight, and so like like dudes like here in Miami, like they'll look him up and down, he'll start laughing and be like, oh, use I'm like, no, he's not a wise guy, babe. Like we're just, if my husband ever tells you like let's go take a walk, like he doesn't want to walk, he wants to fight. Like,
that's kind of how Detroit guys are.
Yeah,
one of the guys that I've dated in the past, like we're pretty serious. Like he went to AVN with me, and like the whole time, anytime someone would look at me, like in Detroit, that's the same vibe. Like the whole you want to fight. And like I would have to calm down. I'd be like, no, this man's just like, it's AVN. They're just looking at me like, chill. We're fine.
You're like, I'm just beautiful. God.
Yeah, but we were at the awards show, and the guy next to me bought me a drink and bought him a drink. Was like being nice to him, and he's like, I'm gonna punch that motherfucker. And I'm over here like, dude, you gotta calm down. Like he's being nice. This is him buying you a drink. It's free. Like take it.
Right. Like, immediately, you're like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah. Have you ever been to AVN?
No.
That is like one of they're hopefully having another one soon in 2023 in January. I'm hoping it's in person because that's like the most, in my opinion, like one of the more fun like adult events. But when you're in Miami, I feel like you're around a lot of these things on a daily basis that most people aren't. Because like in Arizona, I'm going to be real with you, like you get a table and it's different than Miami.
Oh, of course. And there's so many things that I wish I could talk about on TikTok, but like I'm held to NDAs that I've signed, and I'm just like,
well, and TikTok will take you down for half the stuff too. So if you say things like the way it really needs to be said, people are like, oh, this is getting deleted, reported.
Literally, and it's so hard because I'll try to talk about like, oh, go to my OnlyFans or whatever, but I literally cannot say those words. So like I'll joke, I'll be like, go to my singular turbine wings. Yeah. Like,
when did you start OnlyFans?
I started OnlyFans a year ago, but I've only been heavy on it like the last like 5 months.
And I think OnlyFans is one of those things like once you start, you don't stop.
Oh, I love OnlyFans. And I mean, what I think is amazing about OnlyFans, like what I try to tell women, first of all, I think the number one question is like, oh, I want to join it. Can you help me? First of all, I mean, you and I, we've been in adult entertainment for years.
Yeah.
The first time I ever appeared nude nationally was at 19 years old. Right. So me being 30 now and on OnlyFans, like, cool.
Yeah.
But if someone is just going to do it because they're trying to get like an extra buck or something and they don't have a following and they're scared that their parents are going to see it or their children or their neighbors, it's not for you.
Right.
Like,
no,
I think...
Or if you don't want to show your face.
Exactly.
I'm like, this is going to come out. Like, I started it not thinking... Like, I started it knowing I was going to show my face.
Right.
But, like, I didn't make the content with my face until I was, like, comfortable. But it only took me a month.
Yeah.
To be like, all right, everyone. And I have this...
Well, that's all it really takes.
I have this dot, right? So, like, my smart did mouth down.
Huh. So they already knew.
Yeah. Who's going to think that that's anyone but me? There's very few people with my like gaps that I have in my teeth. And then the dot and where it's placed and everything. I'm like, I think it's pretty easy to tell that it's me, but I did that for my own comfort. I didn't do it because I didn't want to show my face.
Correct.
I think for me, it was like, I'd been sending nudes for like way longer than I should have. And for me, like I was comfortable sending. It was the fact that I need to get the body confidence of being like, this is me. This is who I am. And like back then, took me a little bit to get there. And now like, it's so bad how easy it is for me to be like naked now. Because it's like, you've been doing it for like 11 years.
Yeah.
And I've been doing YouTube for 10. So like the camera part wasn't scary. It was like the putting myself out there and knowing that it's like not going to be taken down. And a lot of people think I'll be able to get it taken down.
No.
And that's not how it is. Same with like the whole, like all this stuff that people talk about with you on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how many times you get it taken down.
Correct.
Someone can put it right back up.
Exactly. screen record it. They can put it on a Reddit feed. They can put it on a Twitter, like anything. But I really like, I love OnlyFans in the sense that 80% of it's going to the creator. Yeah. Whereas when I was at Playboy, I think people thought, like, don't get me wrong.
What's the income like that? Because I've never done Playboy.
Yeah, so I'll tell you. So I shot for Playboy on and off for 5 years. And during that time, you only get paid when your media is published.
Right.
So you can...
kind of like side girls.
Exactly. So you can shoot 5 times a year for be put up, nominated for publication. And you can go and spend hours in hair and makeup and shoot and be nude, and they can have all this content, which they own all the rights to.
Do they pay you for your time?
No, you don't get paid for any of that. You get, it's just on like the premise, like we'll pay you in the event that it gets published, in the event you make it.
Yeah.
So I mean, me personally, in the 5 years, I've only appeared in major editorials 3 times.
And like, how many times do you think you've shot for them?
Probably over like 20, maybe 25.
And that's a lot of time. And I think a lot of the time people think like, this is what I think is amazing about OnlyFans, but also is up a lot of people's idea of how to make money.
Yeah.
Because like, I've been doing YouTube for 10 years. And let me tell you, like the first like 5 years I made maybe like, I was partnered with Style Hall. I don't know. So like I was partnered with Style Hall. So I was making like a higher CPM and I still wasn't making.
Right.
And like people think YouTubers make a lot of money.
Of course.
Not a lot of them. If like I wasn't obviously doing it right. I wasn't like, it wasn't my full-time job, blah, blah. For so long, people thought I was making bank because I had good views and I had a lot of videos that had hit like 1 million. But those were all the ones that like got demonetized and stuff.
Of course.
And people don't understand like all that hard work I'd put in for like that 5 years. I wasn't making bank or anything. I was just trying to make ends meet. Same with you. You're putting in all of this time with all these shoots and whatever they pick, you get paid for.
Exactly.
And I think with OnlyFans, like girls that go viral are talking about how much money they make on there. It's skewing how much work goes in behind the scenes.
Correct. And it's also, I think, completely negating the fact that they already had a following somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
I started with a following.
Exactly. And, you know, it's like, so my OnlyFans didn't really get rolling until my TikToks blew up.
Yeah.
And then at that point it did. But it's like, I think like the biggest message to tell women is if you're fearful at any point that somebody is going to see this, you have even a 1%, don't do it because 1, it is going to come out, whether it's 10, 20, 10 minutes from now, you know, and 2, where are you going to get your followers from? Your subscribers don't just come from the dirt. Like they don't just find you. And I think a lot of people don't understand that about OnlyFans, that there's not like a search bar and you can type in someone's name. You need the direct link or they're never going to find you.
Right. And I also think too, like you have to be a personality. Like even if you're your own personality, like everyone pretty much knows I'm myself.
Right.
But the thing is like, even if I'm that personality, like you have to be able to put that on the internet and be comfortable being that person because if you're constantly switching between different personalities, it's going to look so up. Like I know I'm much more dominant. Like sometimes I can like submissively with guys.
Right.
But like I have guys that want me to freaking lick my boots and stuff. And I'm like, bro, I'm going to fucking step on you with that damn boot.
No,
like
literally.
That's not my vibe.
Literally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you get these girls that are like, they'll do anything for that money because like they
and then
think
that
they
fucks
have
up
to.
the industry though too. And they don't understand that. And I try to tell people that, you know, in the club, for example, especially here in Miami. So what was it up for the dancers or even the bottle girls like me, what was happening is they bring girls here from Cuba. And the girls in Cuba, $100 American goes a long way.
Right.
And so they'll do anything, all of it for $100. And that's fine. Like, get your
What's all of it? What do you...
They're for $100. Like,
this is explicit, by the way. Like, you can say that.
Yeah. So they're for $100. They're going to let you put it in their... They're going to let you do whatever for $100 and there's no time limit on it, right?
Have you ever seen that happen?
So I worked at a really big club here. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want them to like sue me for it.
But I think we all know there's certain clubs that are bigger than others.
Yeah, I worked at the biggest club here in Miami. Every rapper you can think of, athlete, whatever, has come here. And so... they brought these girls to the club. And mind you, I'm fresh out of California where, one, you can only be nude in California strip clubs. You can't have bottoms off. Here in Miami, anything goes. Like, all of it.
Kind of like Vegas. Vegas and Miami are very similar.
Yeah, you can be fully naked. You could have, you know, your cha-cha. You could open your legs on stage. Like, I was seeing dudes, like, lick these girls on stage, you know, for $5.
$5?
Bro. That's what I'm saying. Like for $5. Like, and it's these Cuban girls and like they don't have papers. So what that does is it's like, that's fine. Like if you want to let someone lick your for money, cool. Yeah. But when you do it for $5, now they will never pay more than $5. Right. So it set up for the girls that charge $5,000 or $500. Right. And so what was happening is like when I was doing bottle service, these girls, they would go and be like, baby, buy a bottle in 1942 for me. It's $1,800. And the guy would be like, well, what are you going to do for me? If that bottle girl goes and sucks in a champagne room and then I try to sell you a bottle, why would you ever buy a bottle from me ever again? Right. So it up the game for everyone. And that's what happens on OnlyFans. Like, girl, if you're texting these dudes like, oh, cool, give me $1. I think like what the minimum's $3. $3, right? Yeah. But like it's like, oh, you're doing shit for cheap, then you're up on your own clientele and for everyone else.
Well, and it's also like, why are you like, I don't care what people, here's my thing. I don't care what people charge on OnlyFans as long as like they feel good about what they're charging, right? Mm-hmm. But most of these girls go back and complain about how they didn't make any money. Mm-hmm. And like your time is worth something. When you're getting naked, talking dirty, like I know for me, like I charge pretty high for texting, but it's because it's literally me making them videos in that moment or audios or texting. I'm gonna be real. I hate texting. So
it's the worst and it takes so much time. Yeah. You're just sitting there forever, like back and forth.
And I'll use voice to text, but that gets all up and then I have to go fix it.
Right, exactly. Like one time my dog barks in the background. I'm like, oh.
Well, one time I like said his name and like hit send. You know, it wasn't an audio. It was like the voice to text. I did a paragraph. Mm-hmm. And it said like Edward instead of like Eddie or something. And he's like, my name's not Edward. Why'd you copy and paste that? And I was like, bro, I don't know how to explain to you that I'm lazy and that I'm doing it right now in bed because you want me to talk about all these dirty things.
The way my hustle set up is I got to check in the savings.
I like making videos more when it comes to texting. And that's like a lot of time, energy, effort. And like I'm for them at the end of like the session.
Right.
And like some of these girls are like, well, $10 for a video. I'm like, no. Like when you're literally yourself and like saying like, I don't usually say names myself because I've actually had fans like take that and like use it to scam other people. Mm-hmm. Like they'll message everyone with that name. Yeah. Take that video and like Instagram it to them.
Yeah, exactly. I don't say names in any of my videos too, but it's also because I don't want it to be misconstrued into something that it wasn't. Mm-hmm. Like someone trying to be like, oh, I used to date her or something.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I have guys that don't match with me on Tinder, but they're on my OnlyFans and they'll see my Tinder profile. Mm. And then they'll be like, I matched with her and now we talk. And like they'll screenshot our OnlyFans messages. And like, I don't really like care because we were talking there, but like we didn't match on Tinder.
Right, exactly.
And I'm like, do you know how Tinder works?
Right, exactly. You're like, no. And I think it's very clear too that like how the OnlyFans screen looks versus the Tinder.
Yeah. And so different. But it's just interesting how like sometimes like people take things and like they genuinely might even believe it too. And that's like one of those things where I'm like, I can't do names because I feel like I'm unsafe if I do that. Like I don't want my fans to get scammed. I don't want myself to look like I'm like talking to like 100 dudes on Tinder when like I probably have like 3 at a time. Like
exactly. You know? I feel you. It's definitely there's such a I would say for me, like having a social media presence is I'm hyper aware.
Yeah.
I think crazy like in my brain, girl. Like I'm telling you, like if someone were to be like, oh, send me a selfie of you, like I think weird paranoid. Like, why are you like catfishing and you're going to try to use my picture and they ask this? Like, I think wild shit.
For me, like, cause I'm obviously like in the dating game and stuff. My biggest fear is like, I open up to someone about something really vulnerable and they use that against me. And that really scares me because like, there's things that no one should ever use against you.
Of course.
Like your emotions or something that like shouldn't be. And that's one thing that sucks about the internet. Like, I actually have some OnlyFans guys who, like, I do open up to because, like, they're ride or dies. Like, they help me with, like, you know, I have medical bills and stuff.
I feel you, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, those people I have real, genuine connections with. Like, one of them, I'm telling you right now, I could be falling in love with.
Would you date a subscriber?
I don't know. Like, but I can tell you right now, like, he sends me videos on OnlyFans and he'll be like, good morning, beautiful. And I'm like, why are you so adorable? Like, so sweet. Right. Then he also, like, genuinely like he's been on my page for like 3 years. He did not just randomly get on my page and just like say like, I want you. Like, no,
he's been like holding it down for you.
And like supporting me, making sure I feel like, you know, like he made me build that trust with him. And I have a couple that are like that. And it's just like, those are the people that when I have people that always ask, like, how can I ever like build something with you? I'm like, you gotta like put in effort. You can't just like expect me to open up.
Well, and then it's like they talk to you about things that are like related to real life outside of the platform. Yeah. And then it's like they genuinely like, how are you doing today? And then you know things about them, where they work, how old they are, all of this stuff. So
I like being able to have like that, the real like relationship-y vibes where like you talk about your day, you text, they buy your content because that's like buying you gifts. You know what I mean? But
they like, support you.
Yeah. Like, and for me, that's something that I really like. And people always ask me about that. But it's like when you get into like the club and stuff, I know that's very similar. You know, like people, you have the regulars that come in and like you build something with them.
Oh, and your regulars are what you survive on, like in those slow seasons, like the winter or when it rains outside or whatever. But I love that aspect of my job, is creating those genuine connections with people. And I think that so often people think, especially here in Miami, they think I'm here to be like, oh, I'm going to scam you. I'm going to scam you. No, I
and there's
genuinely,
definitely girls out there like that though, which is what kills me, because there's girls on OnlyFans that are like that. There's girls that are anywhere. And then one dude gets burned and then they're like too scared to trust. And that's one thing that I've taken like the full 4 years. I have always, if there's anything that's like miscommunication or whatever, and it's like genuinely like my fault, I want to make it right. You know, I don't want to be known as the girl that's like that.
I do that as well.
Yeah. But then there's other girls who purposely, in my opinion, will like be vague so they can do the least amount of work.
Of course.
And it's like, that's what sucks to me, is like, why are you ruining it? Like,
but it's because I think my biggest thing is, especially on TikTok, I've seen like girls, like when you make the statement to me, oh my gosh, like I want to work in the club, but I would never. I don't know why that's like such a red flag to me.
Oh, that's a red flag to me too.
I feel like, so you want to capitalize off of an entire industry or a marginalized group of people, but you don't support them. Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
You know? And at that point, I feel like, no, like, you can't sit with us. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that. And it's not like mean girl energy, but it's just like, if you're willing to be on OnlyFans, you need to be willing to do what OnlyFans girls are doing, or at least at the very minimum, fully support it and like openly support it. Be like, I support workers, I support ABCD. But if you just want to capitalize on something, it's just a money grab. And then you're no different than these massive corporations that take advantage of people or capitalize off of things.
Or like those OnlyFans management people.
Oh, okay, girl. Let's talk about this. Oh my God. So I was at a pool party with one of my girlfriends here in Miami. And I meet this guy, not like, it's not in a romantic way. I talk to everybody.
Right. Yeah, no, you're social. I can totally tell.
I'm such a big believer on networking. Like, you never know who's who. Yeah. So I always want to swap a business card. If you have a business card, I want to be your friend. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And so he's like, hey, what did he say? He said like he was like an events producer, or like something like he produced large events. And I was like, okay, like you might be someone that's cool to know considering my line of work. Like maybe he knew people, he could bring them into the club, whatever, you know, like whatever. So,
well, anyone you know can be a really good asset too.
Right. So I was like, maybe, you know, I have large social media, like, I don't know, I could do something for you.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm like, let's connect on Instagram. I don't think it's really appropriate we exchange information, but let's connect on Instagram. So we did. And then I did a Q&A about OnlyFans, and one of the girls was like, oh, how much do you average a month? And I wanted to be very transparent. So I took a screenshot of what I made last month. Yeah. And I put it up, and I was like, oh, this is what I made last month. That doesn't mean I'm going to make it next month or whatever.
And I think a lot of people too, like girls will post a screenshot and it's like, could be their best month. And people don't realize like, that is not what every month looks like. Just like at a club, like, one day could be great, one day could be work, you know?
Exactly.
And I think for me, like a lot of people, you know, they see my stuff and they're like, oh, you have this many fans on your OnlyFans. And I'm like, okay, but you don't realize like I could have had a sale. I could have had literally like anything could have happened. I could have done a free trial.
Exactly.
And people like think that's my income. And I'm like, I have actually never posted like a screenshot of my stuff because it's not accurate to like a monthly basis.
Exactly.
And I have a lot of girls that follow me who like ask me for advice. And I'm like, I'm not about to to post this and have you think that this is where you can be too. Because like when I started versus now, like I have taken 4 years to build what I have and to build the reputation of the type of content I do, which when you start out, you're not going to be making the content I make. Unless you're like Stella, who like, she's been very before that. Like I started out doing like the bare minimum, like literally like
I think we all do that though.
Yeah. But like, I think these girls think like, that's how I made that money. It's like, no, I literally like, that's not how it was when I started. When I started, it was like 3-second video. And I was like, oh my God, I just posted that. And now I'm like, oh.
Yeah. And you know what? And I also think it's safe to make an assumption. I'm going to make a blanket statement here. Yeah. But I think it's really safe to say that if you get into OnlyFans and you think that you're going to make millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, you need to understand that you need to produce hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars worth of shit. Yeah. Because nobody's paying $1 million for pics. Right. Nobody's paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to your
or feet. Everyone thinks feet will sell. And I'm like, I don't have that many guys. My feet are not ugly. No. So if anyone wants to see my feet.
Yeah, holler at your girl.
Yeah, it's like, they're there, but like, that's not where I make money. That's not how I'm able to like pay my bills.
No, you make money because it is exactly the type of videos that people think. It is like the video. Oh, the sucking video. I mean, at least
like taking a 13-inch the other day. I literally was like, dear God, oh, it hurts. It's so big.
You're like, please, I love it and I hate it.
Yeah, and then he like texts me. He's like, I would love to do it again. And I'm like, I don't know if I can handle that right now.
You're like, sir, we will consider it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm like, it was a great video, but you can see in my face that it's really big. Like,
you're 100% right. When you're trying to act, you're just like,
no, like my hands are literally cupped while he's me from behind, and they're like, I'm like in prayer.
Girl, I feel that. And like your back sweating.
Yeah. Oh my God. In my face, I was like so red because I was like, I like enjoyed it, but like I was trying to look sexy too.
That's the worst part, right? Like you're just trying to be like, oh, it's so natural. And then on the inside, you're like, wait a minute.
My favorite position though, like when I'm taking like big and stuff, is like on my back, because then I can spread my legs and like deep breathe if it's like too, because this man was like the size of my forearm. And like, I was just thinking to myself, Sydney, you needed practice before this. Why didn't you practice?
Well, you got to prep.
Yeah, but like when I started, I did not do that. Right. So like, I feel like people think like, oh, when you start, and also I didn't get to work with people like that. Right. Like when you start probably by yourself.
So you're by yourself. Yeah. It's all a production. But yeah, I think that, that women need to understand like, that's not what it is. And also too, like back to that OnlyFans manager. An OnlyFans manager to me is a modern day pimp. I don't care what you say. You're trying to get a cut of something that I can do all by myself. Yeah. So I am not really for OnlyFans managers.
I don't think it's a good thing, because I think OnlyFans is meant to be personal.
Yeah. 100%.
And like, I think that's also what has like kind of made people feel like it's a scam, because some of these big celebrities have like OnlyFans managers and like they don't realize that most girls, like the ones that have gotten into the game like later for the money, not for the fact that they want their own account, those are the girls that have the managers and you can tell it's not them.
Exactly.
Like I have guys that are like, are you a bot? And I'm like sitting there like, I am not a bot.
I'm literally sitting on my couch for 3 hours. I gotta go to the grocery store.
I'll literally take my laptop and put it on the toilet with me so I can like go to the bathroom and keep answering my messages. Yes. And I think that people, they don't like realize like most of these girls run their own accounts. Yeah, that's But because people started talking about OnlyFans managers, they think it's like such a big thing. And it's like, actually, most of them get fired super quick. Like one of my friends, she hired an OnlyFans manager, and like, she's not that big on OnlyFans at all, but like, she's so freaking pretty. She just doesn't have like a lot of work ethic. To be really honest with you, like she'll log in once a week, and like, I'll literally grab her laptop and be like
she could be killing it.
Yeah, like,
and then
like,
just
and then like, the thing with her is like, she like wants someone to tell her what to do. But even then she had that manager and got rid of them and started doing it herself when she realized she needed to do it herself, you know? And like, it was interesting to see like, number one, how fake they made it, because I subbed to her page just to see. And I was like, this sounds like really fake. Like I know her, and I'm like,
yeah, no, it needs to come off like I talk to all of my subscribers the same way I would talk to you. Like if I was texting you or whoever, like I got emojis in there. If I'm like, I'm sorry, like a little crying emoji or whatever it is. Yeah. But I think that's another reason why people love it so much is because it.
Well, that's why it blew up.
Exactly.
That's why premium Snapchat was the thing too. That's why clubs are things. It's personal.
Yeah. And I love the club. I'll be honest with you. I think it's really great.
Yeah.
However, I think it's a very easy way to walk into a dangerous area if you don't know what you're doing.
And so, there's a lot of naive people out there.
Yeah, like, it's definitely not somewhere that I would recommend for like a beginner to start out and hit the ground running just thinking, oh my God, I'm going to make $10,000 a week. Yeah, you might, girl, but be careful.
And as I'm talking, just a little reminder, you can always go to onlyfans.com/fitsid for my VIP OnlyFans. Has all of my scenes unlocked right on the feed, my pictures, everything. I reply to direct messages there every single day. And then I also have a free OnlyFans page, which is onlyfans.com/xxxfitsid. So if you're interested in seeing my OnlyFans content, you can go there. If you'd like to see my other stuff, you can go to fitsid.com. You can find my socials. And thank you so much for the support. I always appreciate it.
The underground club that you worked at, was that the first place you ever went to that was kind of like that vibe?
Yeah, so I worked at Hooters. I would say Hooters gave me like my training, my training wheels. I worked at Hooters from the ages 17 to 20. And I loved Hooters. I thought it was great. And here I was like 17 years old making like $700 a day. And I was like, this is amazing, you know? And Hooters really kind of taught me how to have that interaction with somebody in like a way, right. You know, because part of like the 8 like Hooters steps, I don't know if it's still the same now, but like you have to sit down next to the guests at the table. You
really?
Have to, yeah, there's like an 8-point Hooters.
What size were you when you were working at Hooters?
So my were real at the time. So they were 34Cs, but they were like not cute. They were like, you know, like they were not it, girl. They were like hanging, like just, and I was like, God, I want fake. And was when at the time at Hooters, you couldn't go up in short size, but you can go up in top size. So, so you're hired as an entertainer. And that's like how they can legally fire you if you gain weight, if you dye your hair, if you do whatever, because it's an entertainment law. It's no longer an employer law.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, you're hired as an entertainer. And so they take a Polaroid picture of you and they document in your file, oh, Anessa was hired at a size extra small top and extra small shorts. And then the next year you have like an annual review and okay, cool. Your uniform still looks good, everything. And every day at Hooters, you would come in and you would do like a uniform check. So you weren't allowed on the floor until a manager assessed you. Yeah. Like your uniform said you can go. So then when I got my done,
When did you get them done?
I got them done at Hooters. I've had my now for 8 years. So 9 years.
I really thought they were real too, which is when I first saw you on TikTok, like I think it's been a year at this point. I don't know. It's been like a hot minute. You pop up all the time on my stuff.
Oh, I love it.
And then I ended up following you after like a few times of you popping up, but I literally thought they were real for so long. And then I started reading the comments and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like they look so good. Like you can tell some people's are fake.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm like really questioning it. I'm like, is it real? Is it not? Like, do I ask?
Oh yeah. And I'm very open on TikTok about all the things I have done or like that I want to do. So I had my done. In 2013, I had lipo. So I had lipo in my back, in my sides.
Was the recovery hard?
Legs. I'm going to tell you, girl, that was wild. Like, I was black and blue. It looked like I was beat like a piñata. And I don't know if it's just because the technology wasn't what it is today or if that's just liposuction.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're like, I didn't go back.
Yeah, I guess when I think back, like, yeah, they're jamming a metal rod under your skin. But, so I had lipo in my sides, in my back, and then I had lipo in like my outer thighs, and that was great. I loved it, but at the time there was no such thing as a BBL. Like that was not.
So they just took the fat.
They just took it, and now I'm pissed because I'm like, can we get it in a jar?
Had your
I haven't had a BBL yet. No.
You have a nice butt.
Thank you.
I was wondering. I was going to ask. Oh, wow. No. I sound like a freak, you guys.
No, so I've been actually, and I talk about it on TikTok, for the last year I've been gaining weight for a BBL because they told me I was too small to like have it. So then I was like, okay, so I've been gaining weight. I gained 13 pounds over the last year to have a BBL. Yeah. I was supposed to have it in December, but then we moved here. Yeah. So now I'm trying to figure out like when it's a good time for me to have it. And I'm like,
there's never a good time.
There's never, because we work.
And like the lockdown was like a little bit better, but also like it's kind of good that you didn't have it during all that because like this was like the best time to, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of hard because it's like, I feel like there's never a good time. You either have to just pick, I'm going to recover now.
Exactly.
Or not.
So that's what I'm thinking. So my birthday's in July. So I'm thinking, Are you
a Leo?
Girl, I'm a real Leo.
I'm a Leo too.
Oh, okay. What kind of Leo are you? When were you born?
I'm August.
Oh, okay, August.
10th.
Oh, okay, July 29th.
Yeah, okay, so we're so
this is why we vibe.
Yeah,
girl.
all my friends like that are so my best friend, she's a Leo also.
Okay.
And when I tell you this girl knows me like the back of my hand because we're the same.
Of course.
Like same person.
Oh, I'm a real Leo. I think I'm the tallest. I think I'm the smartest. I think I'm the best at everything. You know what I mean?
But like you're nice about it at least.
Oh
like,
no,
I don't feel like you're like you know.
Oh no. But it's so funny. I have this saying. I'm like, it's over for these. Like, I'll be like, the minute I get my BBL and the minute I finish my psychotherapy, it's over for these.
Already over for them. You're a 10. Like,
Thank you.
It's funny though, talking about like the LA 10. When you mentioned that, I was like, it's so funny, like how they're like, people I feel like now are definitely like seeing like everyone's pretty, but like, you're so right about that.
Oh, no, in LA, I am the vibe to some people, but I'm not the vibe. Like, I'm definitely not the first choice to get hired. Like, and that's what I love about Miami is being Latina. It's just like, oh, they love me here. And it's like you said, like you're thick. Like, I'm thick. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I love this shit here.
Like, you don't even need a BBL type thick.
They call me skinny here. And I love it because in LA, I'm actually considered big.
Oh, I know. And that's the crazy thing. So, like, in the last, 2 years, I've gained, 100 pounds, okay?
Okay.
And literally before that, I cannot believe I was a medium.
Okay.
A medium. I am a 3X right now. I cannot believe that I thought I was fat.
Girl.
Like hella fat. Like I thought I was
But you look great though.
Thank you. But I was surrounded by the Arizona West Coast type mentality. And that was before I really got into because I was that size before I even got into the industry and stuff. And so it was just funny because all of that happened and I'm like, damn, why did I think I was fat? But then I have to remind myself, those girls are literally extra, extra small.
It's where you're at. And I try to tell that message to everybody when everyone's like, oh, I want to get into this industry or I want to do whatever. And they're like, what do they look for? It literally is based on the demographic of where you're located. Yeah. What they look for in Atlanta is not what they look for in California or Miami. It's all different. Or even Texas, I would say it's all different.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
So what happened with Kanye? We totally got...
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
I love talking to you.
Sorry.
Don't apologize.
I feel like we're hanging out.
I know.
We should have a sleepover.
I love this.
You want to come over? We'll make a fort.
Yeah, right.
So
have a pillow fight.
Pillow fight. Streaming live on OnlyFans.
Yeah, right.
So, I worked at this underground club, and at this point, I'd been there for a few years. A lot of celebrities are my regulars. I know them. We're friends. We kick it. You know. Probably your favorite celebrity is my friend.
And you know what's funny is I am the worst at recognizing people. I know who people are, right? Yeah. But when you see someone and someone either knows them or they don't. Yes. I'm the type of girl where I'm I swear to God, he looks familiar. Right. And then my friend was she came up to me I don't know where she was. She was hanging out somewhere else. We had a table somewhere. She comes up to me. She's like, that was blah, blah, blah. And I'm I can't even remember who it was, but it was someone that I knew had been all over the media recently. And she told me, she's crying. And I'm over here bitch, why are you crying? What the fuck? But it's funny because you have to remember they're real people, me reminding myself they're real people. Correct. Versus you're over here associating with them all the time. This is your life. Do you think you're more, what's the word?
Desensitized?
Yeah, desensitized to it. Yeah. Because I think as I've gone in the industry, the people I meet, I'm way more chill now. Yeah. But low-key, starting out, some people I'd meet, I'd be go into my hotel room after and scream into my pillow, be like, damn, that just happened.
I will tell you the first time that I met Drake, the first time, so many things went through my mind. I was willing to risk it all. What
went through your mind?
I was so first of all, at my club, they take your cell phone from you. So it's no cell phones, no recording.
Where you're at right now?
In LA.
Oh, okay.
When I worked there. So nothing. And at that point, we sign a blanket NDA. It's not, you can't you can talk about your job, you can talk about where you work, you can't disclose the location, and you can't disclose specifics on like a date that a celebrity came in. So I could tell you Drake came in and he gambled $200,000, but I can't confirm a date.
So they gamble there, right?
Yes, it's underground poker, which is illegal.
This is a silly question.
Yeah.
You guys, this is going to make me sound so innocent. Is it like an underground, like actually underground basement style? You're like, you're so innocent.
It is located under a extremely famous venue. And
so it is a basement style, like it's underground?
Yes. Yes. So you pull in through a regular parking structure that you and I would pull into, and you need a key card. So like instead of going to the penthouse, you would go to that lower level underneath there. And it is an extremely famous venue. I'm sure everyone has been to it and they have no idea that it's there.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Like I said, it's lawless land. Like whatever you want to do. So the first time I met Drake, I was just like, oh my God, like I'm willing to get fired. I'm willing to police out. Like I'm willing to, you know, like whatever. And then he became a regular. And it was really cool. But when Kanye came in, that was my first and only time ever meeting him. And I've never seen him at the venue before. I never knew anything about him. Never spoke to him, nothing. And I think that a lot of people thought, because the time that the story came out was the time that they announced that they were getting divorced.
I knew you were going to say that because
even though it had happened 3 years prior to them actually getting divorced. The story just came out at that time. So,
which makes sense though, because like people want drama, so they're gonna try and pull anything they can to like.
So he comes in, just kind of looks around. He's not interested in the dancers. He's not interested in getting a table. And he's just walking towards the bar. This is like really rare because a lot of celebrities that come in, they want tables, they want dancers, they want to gamble. But not a lot of them sit at the bar. Like they'll come up and grab a drink and leave. But he came and like sat. And I remember just like being like,
was that where you were?
Yeah, that's where I was at. I was the only bartender on. And I was like, this is Kanye right in front of me. But
did you immediately recognize him?
I did, but I don't listen to his music like that.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I'm not like a Yeezy fan. I don't have Yeezy. You know, like, so I was just like, oh, okay, it's Kanye. Like, I think I would be way more starstruck if like one of the Spice Girls came in to me, to be honest. You know, I'd be like, it's a Spice Girl or a Backstreet Boy. So
or like Britney Spears.
Actually, if Britney Spears came in, I'm risking it all. You know what I mean?
Same.
So, but so he comes in and I was like, oh, do you want something to drink? And he doesn't say no. He just shakes his head. And I was like, okay. So I like kind of walk away because, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to like stand in front of him. So I kind of walk away and he has his sunglasses on and this place is like dark. This club is like dark. So I'm just like, all right. And he has like, I'm guessing what would be his security. I don't know, but one other guy with him. And then he kind of waves me over and he's like, I'll take a water. And I was like, okay. So I give him water. And I was like, so how are you doing today? I just decided like, it's going to make conversation with him if he's sitting at the bar. And we talked for 3 hours and it was about all of his beliefs and his thoughts and how at this time, and mind you, this is 3 years before he announces getting a divorce. So like, I guess before he came out the way he is now. So at that time, Kanye wasn't in the media like that. So when he's telling me his beliefs and his thoughts on like he feels called to tell people things, at that time it was sounding like very eccentric to me because we didn't know him this way yet. And I was like, okay, like interesting. I'm not going to tell him that I think he's weird or whatever. I was just like absorbing everything he was saying. And he's telling me how he believes that clubs are a front for women getting trafficked and that just these wild beliefs that in the back rooms, that's where we're going to sell women and sell their souls. And I was like, wow, this is definitely a point of view, you know? And so I was just kind of standing there, like nodding my head, and 3 hours go by and he tells me, you're better than this. Like, I really want to see you escape this. How old are you? What are you doing? Get out of this evil. Gives me $15,000, leaves. I never see him again. So
do you feel like what he was like that night is kind of like how he is now publicly?
Exactly.
So when you see him in the news now, like, what do you think? Because like you had a personal interaction with this man that not a lot of people, in my opinion, get. Like when you see the stuff on the news, you're just like, that's exactly how he was.
Yes. And so when I met him that night, I'll be honest with you, I was like, maybe he's not drinking because he's been drinking all day. Like that's what I thought. Or maybe he's doing exactly. Because the things he was saying were not like normal ideologies that people have. Like he was saying that he believed that a woman would go into the back and like we would physically like hold an auction and sell her and then she would disappear.
But
like
he says some really crazy stuff now.
Exactly. And how he was saying that that, you know, media is like the main ring of like trafficking and exploiting women, and how there's all of these superstars that we don't know that are involved in trafficking. And it just sounded very outlandish at that time. So obviously I can't communicate to someone like publicly what's going on, but I tell people, I'm like, oh my God, like I told my friends, like, oh, he sounded crazy. Yeah. But everyone loved Kanye at that time. So they're like,
oh yeah, he was so popular then for like just his music, not like his personality.
He had not yet come out with these religious ideals, or he hadn't had any Twitter rants at the time yet.
Or like when he talked about his daughter almost being aborted or whatever, like he didn't say any of that stuff, I don't think.
Exactly. Or like when he was like, oh, my daughter will never do Playboy, like in those crazy Twitter rants, that was not
even though Kim Kardashian is literally one of the biggest symbols ever.
Exactly.
Like even though she has that sex tape, it's not even about the sex tape. It's literally about like how her figure is. Like people look at her in a bodycon dress and she is sex, like Marilyn Monroe, like type of vibes. Like he's literally with someone.
And that's why when he was explaining to me his beliefs about how he thought the clubs were evil, I was like, well, are we forgetting when you were with Amber Rose before you were with Kim Kardashian, who was a famous King of Diamonds, you know, KOD. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, what? So that's why it didn't, 2 and 2 wasn't making sense. So I thought he was drinking. Fast forward 3 years, the story comes out, the TikTok was viral, and I'm on World Star, I'm on Wendy Williams, like, you know, I'm everywhere. And then they're like, oh, it sounds like something Kanye would say now, but it didn't then. When
so you were over here like, man, this man needs some
therapy. No, like actually, I was just like when he's talking to me, I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, I didn't know what to say. I had nothing to blame it on because he's drinking water.
So oh my God, I forgot about the whole water thing.
He's just drinking water.
So did he just give you a stack of cash and like leave?
Yeah, he literally just like pulled money out of his pocket. And I remember my next thought being like, wow, I can't believe you just walk around with money like that. Because often a lot of the celebrities that come in, they don't walk around with money like that. They exchange it at the cashier. So like what they'll normally do is they have like a black card or something, and they pay 20% or 28% to get cash off of it. We run their card for 40,000, 80,000, whatever. And then we charge them 20% to do it, and we give them the cash. But they don't like walk around with that money.
But he must have gone in there with the mentality of, I want to tell someone something and I want to save someone that's in there.
Correct. I'm thinking it was either he had that mentality, or maybe he was out making a purchase or doing something with that money. Like his exact words.
He definitely wanted to talk to someone.
His exact words were, I felt called.
Yeah.
Those were his,
I feel like he probably had the money to, you know, what did you do with that money, by the way?
So I immediately...
Because that's a lot of money.
Yeah. So at that time, at that club, mind you, I was making like $15,000 in a week, like $20,000 in a weekend. Yeah. So I took that money, I saved it, which is what I do with a lot of my money. I save it. But yeah, that's basically what I did. I didn't buy anything with it. I didn't buy a bag. Like,
no, I think it's smart to do that. I was curious because I was like, dang, like $15K in literally like a night, like mind blowing.
And I wish, so I can't tell you who, but there's a TikTok you can go and you can watch it. This was on Super Bowl of last year when I was still living in LA. He flew me out to a Super Bowl party that he threw here in Miami, and I made $20,000 at his Super Bowl party, bartending privately. I was bartending topless, but bartending privately.
With those nice knockers.
There you go. Like, you know,
they paid for themselves.
So these athletes, these rappers, like they have the money, and it's very much a culture.
Right.
So they want to give it to you. And it's so wild because I think that people
think you're trying to scam them out of it, when really I know when I go into the club, like I go in knowing that I'm going to spoil whoever is like dancing for me. And
exactly.
And I feel like a lot of the time, like, okay, there are some guys who like, okay, the first way to get unmatched on Tinder is if you tell me that you won't go and spend money at a club. Like I find that so unattractive because you want some to watch for free. Like go up.
That part though, like you want to watch for free. But I think that people, aside from scamming, they think, oh no, you're doing more for that money. Like you're for money.
Yeah.
And if I was for money, I would tell you.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, like, especially if it was a celebrity.
Right.
I would
then
be
you'd be like Selena Powell or whatever her name is, where she like all the NBA players.
Exactly. Do you remember Kat Stacks from back in the day?
No.
Okay, so Selena Powell is like the new gen Kat Stacks. So Kat Stacks was first. She walked so Selena Powell could run.
Yeah.
And Kat Stacks fucked everyone and was really famous. And then she ended up fucking over the wrong person and then got deported. But yeah, she was the original like I'm gonna be in the media. Yeah. I'm gonna be out there.
Well, and it's so interesting too, because some people genuinely like that's what they enjoy.
Right.
For me, like I've definitely been on dates with so when I first got in the industry, that's when like people started realizing like, oh, if I invite her on a date, like she's a little low-key freak, you know? Like that's kind of when people started like putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
So like when I started looking at my DMs on Instagram, and I had like a lot of verified dudes that were like mainly NFL and
yeah, and they give zero. Like they'll just slide in your DM. Like they don't care if you screenshot it or anything.
Yeah, but here's the problem. They'll give zero, and then on the date, they'll give more zero and be texting like your best other friend that's like in the industry too. And like have their phone like laying up, and it'll like pop up with your friend's name, and you're just like, thanks for making me feel like a good, like you care.
Oh, it's like that, I would say.
And I'm not that mentality. Like you are desensitized to like the club party. Like for you, you know how to handle it.
Yeah.
100%. First of all, I was so new. I wasn't even legal to drink. So like I didn't know what I was getting into. Right. And also like I am very much a lover. So like I got out of that mentality or like the interest of dating those guys because I went on I think 2 to 3. The first date I already got the ick. By the third one though, and these are all different guys. By the third one I was like, I don't think this is for me. Like I feel worse and worse after every one of them.
Exactly.
And then there's been guys like since then that I've gone to like yacht parties with, and like things that are very much like public, and like it's not a date, you know? Right. Where I leave feeling like, wow, like that was so much fun, made some memories. Yeah. But like that's it, you know? And like I think that's the difference is like when I got into it, I was like, oh my God, like maybe we could fall in love, like my dumb ass. Like I was so innocent. And now like if someone slides into my DMs, like he was like one of the higher top picks for the NFL recently. Okay. And he recently hit me up and he was like, Sydney, like, I want a life with you. I want all this. And I literally was like, delete.
Immediately, no. Get the fuck out of my face.
The problem was he was playing games. Like, I was like, I don't want to see other girls on your phone. Like, I don't care if you sleep with other people because my job, I sleep with other people as long as you're honest with me. But he was such a liar about like, he wanted attention from other women, and that wouldn't bother me. I'm very secure, but he couldn't be honest about it. And I'm like very much a relationship person. Okay. So like, I was like, I don't care like if you do that, but like he couldn't, like he even wanted to shoot with me. Like no face. But like I was going to let him have his cake and eat it too. But he couldn't communicate and he couldn't respect the boundaries that I had, which my only boundary was like, don't cancel plans on me if you have like, or don't cancel on me for someone else. Right. And like he would randomly go AWOL for like a week. Yeah. And I'd be like, yeah, you're definitely with another girl.
Of course. You know, I have 2 friends right now. Yeah. And they're both in the future. And they don't know that the other girl is in the future. But I'm the middle friend. So I know. And it's so funny because they're both in Miami, both of my girlfriends. And Future will buy one of them like a Balenciaga bag and she'll send it to me. And he'll buy the other one the same bag in a different color. And she'll send it to me. And he'll give one of them like $15,000 and be like, go shop, go. And then give the other one $15,000. And then they both tell me and they like show me their DMs together or whatever. Yeah. And they're like, oh my God, like I think he's in love with me. But like low key, I know that he's this girl, and they both know each other, which is interesting, but they don't know that he's both of them.
And that's what I don't like about like I don't think I could like do you like LA or Miami better?
LA.
So I don't think I could be in either place myself. But like because like, you know, Arizona, it's a little less wild.
It's low key though, but that's what I'm saying. Like Miami's
there.
Savage. Yeah. Miami's ruthless.
I can't handle it. Like one of my best friends, she's very much Miami. Like the she gets herself into. Yeah. Like she just flew a guy out to Arizona. And he lied about his height. He was 4 inches shorter.
And wait, what was the initial told height versus the actual?
So she's 5'2".
Okay.
And he said he was 5'6".
Stop. They're the same height.
He's maybe 5'1", actually. Like, she thinks that, like, he's actually, like, a little shorter. And, like, she didn't care about the height thing. She was like, why did he have to lie about it? When she flew him out. And he's, like, decently famous on TikTok. Like,
okay.
He has, like, I think, like, 5 or 800K.
Okay.
So he has, like, a pretty big following. And he's, like, super fit, which makes sense now. Like, he's a short fit, you know?
Of course.
But you can't tell because the proportions look so good, you know?
Right.
So, like, he's still at her place right now.
Okay.
And, like,
that's awkward. Like, so does he leave?
But she's a Miami girl, right? So, like, I'm just waiting for her to go crazy on him. Because she's the type of girl that'll, like, her last boyfriend, like, I'm very nice. And he told me, he was like, you're the nicest friend she has. Like, he's like, they're all really scary. And, like, this dude was 6'7". It's the most buff dude I've ever seen. And he was like, yeah, blah, blah, scares me. And I'm like, yeah, she scares me too. She crazy.
Yeah. Dude, Miami, like, I'm telling people, and, like, they think I'm lying.
Is Tootsie's here?
Tootsie's is here.
Yeah, so she used to work at Tootsie's.
Yeah, so Tootsie's is, like, the biggest square footage club in Miami, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miami's it's not for the weak.
No,
like,
and
you
she's
gotta be
not weak.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for her to call me and be like, I kicked that motherfucker out.
Hell yeah. You know what's so funny? Have you ever asked a guy to, like, leave your place before? Have you ever been like, okay, I don't want you to be here anymore?
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm, like, a little too nice. I had this guy that I like.
Really?
Okay, when I tell you I'm too nice, I'm too nice.
Mm-hmm.
He literally spent like 48 hours at my place and I wanted him to leave after 7.
So you didn't tell him?
And I even fed him. and I kept hinting, like, please leave. But, like, then the thing is, his was so nice that I was like, I guess I'll one more time. And then it, like, turned into, like, 2 full days. And my friends were coming in and out of my house. And, like, literally he didn't get the hint that I wanted him to leave. But, like, I was like, this is really nice. Like, I can use your, like,
So I had a guy, really famous band, okay?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I'm coming to LA. We're going to be on the Ellen show.
Yeah.
And, like, him and I had been, like, talking before my husband.
Yeah, I kind of figured for your husband.
Because I know that it's a common question on TikTok. People think that we're in an open marriage or an open relationship simply because of what I do.
But you can be monogamous and still do what you do.
Absolutely. And so... really big band. He's like, I'm coming to LA. And when we would talk all the time. He would FaceTime tags. He'd write me on Instagram. I can't wait to cuddle with you. I can't wait to see you. And I was so attracted to him.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, he's so hot.
Was he like your type? Or was it just, you were just attracted?
Like so my type. He's so hot. And I was like, this is wild. And how we actually met is my really good friend. Like my really good friend is their good friend.
Right.
Like, they know everyone in LA. So I guess they were drinking one night and she was like, I want you to meet my friend Anessa. And he was like, oh my God, like, she's so beautiful. So he DM'd me and that's how it happened. So having that middle friend was really easy. And so he's like, oh, I'm going to come or whatever. I was like, this is great, whatever. He flies, he gets in, I go to pick him up. And, like, immediately, like, when I see him, it was, like, weird. But I thought it was just because he is coming off of being on tour and he just flew from Hawaii and all this stuff. So we, like, meet and it's kind of weird. And then, like, in the car, he's, like, very quiet and I'm very not quiet. Like, I want to talk about everything.
Yeah.
And so then we get to my house and my dog, who is like my child.
What kind of dog?
She's an Australian. I love her.
You have Australian Shepherd?
I have 2.
I do too.
No,
this is why we're the same person.
Wait, what are your dog's names?
Bear and Chip. And Chip's
God.
only 6 months old.
Okay, so Shelby's only 9 months old and Shay is 6 years old.
We are the same person. Bear is 1.5.
Do you like your Aussie? Be honest with me.
Okay.
Do you like it?
Bear is my wallpaper.
Tell me the truth. Like,
he's my wallpaper.
Like, you hate the young one. Right?
Yeah.
I hate the puppy.
I'm going to be honest with you.
No, like, I hate him.
He legit has eaten 2 couches.
Okay.
And I duct taped the couch and he just ate the duct tape off of it literally like 2 days ago. And then he also pisses on me.
Oh my God. No, I hate the 9-month-old. My husband was like, because Shay is an angel. She's like gift from God.
Yeah.
She can do no wrong to me.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So then Shelby, my husband's like, oh, I want that kind of love. Like, whatever. I was like, oh, let's get another dog. We get him. And I'm like, I hate you.
Okay. Yeah. We are on the same wavelength. Here's the thing though. everyone keeps telling me I will grow to love Chip.
I keep waiting.
Yeah, I'm at the 6-month mark right now.
Yeah.
And they said it might take 2 years, so I'm holding out.
I feel like I loved Shay from birth. I tell her that
That's
she
fair.
came. Yeah, I tell her, I'm like, remember when you were in my belly? That's what I tell her.
No, I joke about saying I birthed Bear.
I tell Shay all the time, like, she has these beautiful, like, little brown eyebrows. I'm like, oh, you get those from me.
Yeah, well,
so
like, okay, look, tell me.
Show me. Oh my God.
These puppy dog eyes.
Sweet angel face.
And he is so good.
Oh, that's what he is.
He's got a little, like, bad too. So when he wiggles his it's like just the cutest thing because he gets so excited about people.
Yeah.
And he's very good with other dogs too. But Chip is like Chip is like barks at every other dog.
That's Shelby.
Yeah.
No, so like when my husband
Are they girls?
So Shelby's a boy. He's named after the Mustang. GT 500. And Shay's a girl.
And Shay was the first one you had?
Yeah. And she's the best. And she's the original.
So I wonder... I don't know. Like, I just wonder if it's a second Aussie thing.
I don't know, but when my husband, like, walks away, like, he'll get up, I'll whisper to Shelby, I'll be like, I hate you. That's what I tell him. That's what I tell him.
We're going to have to ship her off to Arizona and see if her and Chip get along.
Or I'll be, like, in the bathtub and he'll come up to me and he'll be, like, put his head on the bath and my husband's like, isn't he cute? And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, I hate you.
Poor Shelby.
I hate him. Like,
see, I don't really get along with girl dogs. Like, I like them, but not at my house because, like, I had a golden retriever that's a girl.
Okay.
And, like, she and Bear, like, she was such a little... But, like, he's, like, he can do no wrong in my eyes.
Oh,
like,
that's Shay.
Bear, I don't know how smart your Aussies are, but, like...
very, very... I mean, Shelby's very stupid, but Shay is extremely...
Well, Chip's a little stupid, too. He, like, runs in the doors, but... Bear, like he does a lot of things. He eats my wall, like he's another level. But Bear actually, he's only 1.5, but he's learned how to open my doors, and I have a sliding glass door that's like extremely heavy.
That's Shay.
And I was getting a massage, and he likes to eat the lotion, and I put him outside, and I was like, sir, you need to stay out here because he literally, as she rubs me, he licks behind.
That's what Shelby does, but when we have. So I gotta like close the door.
No, Bear licked the guy that I wouldn't let leave. Yeah. Bear licked this guy's.
Like, no, stop. I came up behind him.
Yes, and literally he just felt it. He's like, that feels so good. And I was like, that's not me. That's my dog. And it was like missionary. So like,
oh my God,
I had put a pillow underneath my hips
me.
so I was higher.
Yeah.
So the way he was like positioned was like perfect.
Yeah.
And Bear just decided he wanted to be part of it. And
of
like,
course. That's what Shelby does.
Like, yeah, but Bear, like, when I got him,
that's not me.
He was like around a lot more. Chip, I've learned I can't even let him be around because he doesn't. Yeah, he also likes to like he's actually ripped all these earrings out.
Oh my God,
and like eaten them
straight to jail.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I had to buy like fake ones now because he ate the real ones and he never hooved them out. I don't know what happened.
What are your dog's nicknames though?
Chips Ahoy.
Oh, Chips Ahoy.
And Baby Bear.
And Baby Bear.
But I was gonna name him Cookie.
And Baby Bear is the baby, right?
No, Bear is the one that's on my wallpaper.
Yeah, and Chips Ahoy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Shelby, his nickname for me is Little. But I say it in a way I'm like little. Like, you know, when he answers to it. And my husband calls him the man boy because you can't tell if he's 15 years old or 15 minutes old. Like, if people look at him, they're like, is he a puppy or is he grown? So we call him man boy. But it's little.
See, I do call them like stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a picture of Chip so you can see. Like, that's him.
Oh my God.
He's cute.
But it's the same mischievous. That's how Shelby looks. Like, it's the same mischievous, like he's just up to like he's just plotting.
And here's the thing with him. He has literally done so much harm to my stuff. Like, I have probably replaced I haven't replaced as much as he's like broken because I know he's going to be like this for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But like, he will look at me like, okay, the other day he tore up a pillow and he literally looked at me like, I had fun. Yeah. I did that. And I'm like, I literally was like, you're not even going to be cowering in fear. Oh. Like, you don't even realize that was wrong. Because Bear, when he like had done something as a puppy wrong, he would like make sure that I knew he was sorry. He would snuggle me. No, this one will piss on me. Like, he like crawls on top of me like, hi, Mom. And then just pees because he gets so excited. And I'm just like,
yeah. No, that's Shelby. He's just like, he doesn't destroy anything, but you're not going to tell Shelby. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I've tried like smacking him, him. He doesn't give a
like, feel good. No, Like,
no, literally, like he gives zero. Like he'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it again. And if you stare at him for like too long, like if you catch him eye to eye, he growls at you and he'll be like, and he like puffs up his little chest. I'm like, you mother. Like,
okay, so when I got Chip, I actually picked him up and another puppy up for my dog trainer. And I put the first puppy in. That's not mine. I put Chip in. I get in the front seat and he goes, in the kennel. And I'm like, what the I can't even trade them because the other one was white, like fully white.
So yeah, you can't even pass it off.
Yeah, so I literally was like, why do I get the bad one? Right. Like I knew from the start that he was gonna have attitude issues.
Oh no, we were scammed. So Shelby, I 100% think she like gave him Benadryl or something when we bought him because he was just like chilling and he was so cool. And we drove 8 hours to Northern California to get him. Whole ride back, he was fine. And I was like, oh, you're amazing. And then that Benadryl or whatever the she gave him wore off. And he literally, I remember, he's like this big. He has no neck, like little feet. And I was like, oh, come here. And he's just like, and I was like, oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
why do I love this though?
He's like crazy. I like hate him.
I feel like we need to have a puppy play date because I'm like obsessed with my dogs. And I feel like Aussies all get along. That's the one thing.
Of course, they know their own people. And my husband loves him. My husband thinks it's so funny. He's like, oh, he's a little fuck. So he'll probably want
Chip. Yeah, so then you could always have Chip and Shelby.
But you could have Shelby and Chip, and how blessed would you be? I mean, you would be even way more blessed. And you know, it'd be great so I could FaceTime you and see him.
I mean, Bear would probably be like, why the is there another one?
You know, like, Mom. I joke that like I couldn't even leave Shelby outside and be like, oh, he ran away because he won't run away. Like he won't leave.
So here's the thing, Bear likes to like adventure. You know, like he'll run like 5 miles into the forest and I have to do this like freaking weird noise to get him to like come back. Chip doesn't even leave the front door. Like I'll leave it open and he's like, I'm not going out there. Yeah. That's not for me.
Of course. It's because they know. Yeah. But I think it's because they're so smart. And it's like, you know, I try to tell people are like, oh, get a dog trainer. Have you tried this? And I'm like, oh, would you get a dog trainer for Ted Bundy? Right. Would you get a dog trainer for John Wayne Gacy? Well, and that's what I have.
I have a dog trainer. And the thing is, there's certain things like in that breed that if you're not committed to like literally 15 times a day doing it will never, it's just not going to
happen. Yeah.
And like with the whole, him not being as like, he's friendly with other dogs, but he herds them. So like, play dates with him are like kind of because like the other person's like freaking out the whole time.
Yeah, they think the dog's being attacked. Yeah. And he's just like vocal when he's playing.
Yeah, but the hard part is like Bear kind of grew out of that, but Chip, they said he probably won't because I actually got him from a farm.
Oh, okay.
And his parents are literally working dogs.
That's where we got Shelby too.
Yeah, and so like I think that's the other difference is like there's certain things that like you can't take that out of the dog. So
yeah, we got Shelby. He was on like a winery. Yeah. So it's the same thing. Parents just like, you know, running free, doing all kinds of stuff. And so he's wild. You know that TikTok audio that's like parkour?
Yes. Is that him?
That's him. Like, and you can't even catch him to like him when he's bad because he's just parkour.
I think it's funny that you like thank your dog because I'm like,
hell yeah.
If I do that to mine, they're like, they'll shake their at me like, give me more. Like they're like, come on, Mom. Because I'm gonna be really honest with you. Like they have like, okay, Bear is like definitely a little bit fat. Like I love him a little too much.
Oh, okay.
So he's like on a diet, but like everyone always is like, man, he's like a double wide trailer. And I'm like, you know what? He's on a diet, okay? He only gets 2 cups of food a day.
Yeah.
And literally he was on 4. So
he's starving.
Yeah.
You think he's starving? No, Shelby's like the slender man. He's like not even fun to cuddle because it's just like bones.
But he's 9 months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bear's like was like that. And then one day I looked at him and I was like, yeah, you're a little thick. You're a little thick. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, we can't have confidence issues in this household. You look great.
Yeah. But like, no, they look great. Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, exactly.
How funny that we're both parents to.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that. Yeah. We should get matching shirts.
Yeah.
You know?
Seriously, like, yeah. I wanted to get a doormat that said, 2 live here because they're
That's cute though.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Little Aussies. But I was saying that guy who flew to LA.
Yeah.
I had my dog at the time, it's just Shay. And he comes in, he's like, oh, you let your dog stay in the house? I didn't give a that he flew all the way. I was like, you need to leave. I told him like right away. I was like, you need to leave. And he was like, what? And I called my friend who was his friend. And I was like, you need to have him come to your house. Like, he cannot stay here. And she was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I just flew here. And I was like, well, now you're flying back. Thank you.
Yeah, but honestly, that's like that's one of the biggest like turnoffs for me. If someone like, because my dogs are my babies. Like, even though I talk shit about Chip, like obviously, like you have your dogs for a reason,
of course.
And I think that the thing is like if someone like says that, it's like such a turnoff. You're like, I don't want you around. Like,
yeah,
it's like someone says your baby's ugly.
Exactly. Like I can call him little, but if like someone's mom be like, oh, he's a little. I'd be like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
I'm like, say that to my face.
Oh, yeah, no. Seriously. Like, I have friends, like, when I first, so, like, we joke because Chip sometimes, like, is stinky. I don't know why, but he smells a little weird.
But it's like that.
Yeah, but, like, if my friends say stinky, it's fine. But if they're like, he smells so bad, I'm like, what did you say?
Yeah.
I'm like, you want to give him a bath?
Yeah. That is so funny because Shelby's breath, like, oh my God, it is so bad. I tell him all the time, I'm like, Shelby, it smells like something went into your mouth, it died, and you haven't opened your mouth for 10 years.
I think our dogs are probably siblings, like long-lost siblings, you know?
I call it the dinosaur breathing because he'll just be like, and like, he comes up and I'm just like, Shelby, my nose hairs are getting singed right now. Like, whatever is happening in your mouth. It's all the time, like, God, your GD mouth. It's just like, you know?
I'm so glad that you're on this podcast. I feel like we had so many good things to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we could keep talking and keep talking because, like, you're actually cool.
Thank you. I love you.
Seriously, if you guys don't know who she is, you need to look her up. I will have all of her socials down below. But what is your OnlyFans like link? Like, will you, can you say
so
that
it would be onlyfans.com /Anessa Rossi.
Yeah, and I'll have that link down below too. But I am so glad that I had you on. Just remember, you guys, that you're always somebody's type. Have a great day. Have a great night. Have a great week. Bye.
Yeah.